Okay. So tell them what we're going to talk about today.
No, I'm always in charge. Listen, we're bringing this thing back. The pressure's on you. I'm gonna sit in the back seat. We're bringing this thing back. I'm gonna be the guy behind the scenes.
No, because you have to tell your side of it. I'm not the only one talking to
the guy holding the camera, doing the editing, posting that. She gonna do everything on the front end.
No.
These folks want to see you.
No, they don't.
They don't know who I am.
All right.
And I got no interest. No, not I got an interest in you guys knowing a little bit about me. Not much. I'm a private guy.
What are we here for today?
All right, we're here to discuss a touchy subject that honestly can't really be explained or narrated in one video.
Yeah.
We're gonna try our best to put as much into one, two, maybe three as possible. And I only say that because they're gonna be questions.
That's gonna jack it up. How much
No, it's not. They're gonna be questions. It's like a gnat or something.
Yeah.
But you ain't gonna kill it. But anyway, they're gonna be questions, I'm sure. If they're not, great.
We'll do once we post the initial video, then we'll put like a Q&A for those who have questions. And a lot of people might not feel comfortable asking questions, I guess, to be posted. So you can always just DM me and we'll talk there. I don't have to.
No, you won't talk there. You'll send the question, submit the question via DM, or I just learned a new one, PM. Remember I asked you?
Personal message?
Yeah, I never knew what that was. People always like
direct message.
Yeah, PM. I was like, what is PM? But I just learned that, so you guys can DM, PM, IM. Yeah. What else?
That's it. Or the ones that know me that have my number, you can text me.
Yeah, just text, and then what we'll do is
try to answer your questions in the next video.
Yeah, we'll try to compile it and make it, short and sweet to the point.
Yes.
Of course, there's a lot of unknowns with this situation. We didn't really necessarily get a whole bunch of assistance as far as all the possibilities. There were two things that the doctor was concerned about.
Well, you can start from the beginning.
Yeah, but I was going to say, based off of what we looked up, it didn't seem like it was a concern, but...
Yes.
So I guess you can start it off, whenever you first found out, and just do a timeline from there.
Okay. So at, 8 weeks that we did the blood test, the blood work?
Yeah, probably right.
So like at 8 weeks of the pregnancy, we did the blood work because I was very anxious and I didn't want to wait to find out the gender of the baby till 21 weeks. And so the blood work was supposed to tell you like if there was like a disorder with the baby or what else?
Genetic testing, that's what it was.
Yeah.
Genetic testing.
The gender of the baby and all that stuff, like really early on. So then my results came back and everything was normal. And then they said it would be like a week or two before we got the baby's results. And then we got the baby's results and she said that there was two that came back out of the, I don't know how many, 2 came back abnormal.
Yeah.
And it was
not really abnormal.
It came back abnormal, but it wasn't a guarantee whether like something was wrong with the baby or not unless we went for further testing.
Or there wasn't a guarantee that the 2 things that came back were in fact active, if that makes sense.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh.
It just came back abnormal. Something in the test came back abnormal for those 2 things. But it could have been just because it could have been like a false a false result, or I guess that's the word for it. So that's why they wanted to send us for further testing. But further testing meant that of course, it would have been an ultrasound, and then they would draw from the amniotic fluid, and that could sometimes cause miscarriage. So I didn't want to do that because I didn't want to risk it. I was just praying about it, and I said I would pray about it and let God take control of that situation pretty much. I didn't want to stress about it. He was telling me not to stress about it. So we didn't think too much of it after the first week that they told us. I was like, well, we'll see how it goes.
You kind of did, but in the same sense, you kind of got relaxed on it too. Because I was like...
Yeah, because at first I was like thinking about it all the time. And then after that, I was just like, well, gotta have faith. So if you're worrying, that shows you're not having faith. So I didn't think about it much. And then, but none of what they said was like fatal, pretty much. It was just something would have been wrong with the baby's reproductive system, she said. And I looked them both up. It was Fragile X syndrome and Turner's syndrome.
Yeah, that's right.
And so basically, Fragile X, the baby's head would have been larger than normal. And Turner's, it was mainly for women, and it was like their neck was really short, and they would have problems reproducing pretty much. But none of it was like a big concern for me anyways, because as long as my baby would have, come out healthy, of course, possibly have something wrong, but we didn't think it would have been fatal, pretty much.
Well, even the research didn't say anything about that. I don't remember that.
No, because I looked it up and it didn't say anything about that. And this is our first time talking about it, so bear with us because we're still trying to figure out like what exactly we want to say. We didn't take notes and nothing. We're just going with the flow. So yes, we found out that something came back abnormal. We ended up saying no, we're not going for further testing. And I went back for 3 more doctor's appointments after that, and they kept pressing it, like saying, "Oh, you guys should go to see the specialist, and they'll do the ultrasound, go for further testing. They can like educate us on both of those."
Yeah, it was a recommended step.
Yes.
Kind of like marriage counseling. It was like, you should do this.
Yeah, but we didn't. Like I said, we were trying to keep our faith, and we didn't want to go through with that. So then, fast forward, we had our gender reveal March 20th. It was a week after your birthday.
Yeah, I want to say before.
No, it was after.
It couldn't have been after.
No, before 26.
I want to say you were right about the 22nd.
22nd.
Yeah, I'm gonna look it up.
It's March.
Nah, yeah, hold on. Okay, 22nd was on that Friday.
Yeah. So we had it the 23rd.
23rd.
That's Saturday.
Yeah.
Okay. So we had the gender reveal March 23rd, and we found out that we were having a baby girl, and we were bummed at first because we wanted a baby boy, but of course it's a blessing, so we were excited. Nonetheless, I was looking up a whole bunch of baby clothes and cribs and all this stuff, and then we went in the following week.
Yeah.
Was it the following?
Yeah.
2 weeks.
Nah, it had to be the following.
The following week.
Yeah.
For my 22nd week appointment, and that's when they said, well, the baby didn't have a heartbeat.
Yeah. Wait, hold on. Was it? Oh, yeah, because the 22nd. So yeah, that's right.
Yeah, because I was induced.
The following week would be like around this time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, remember we went the 2nd because you said we don't want to go April Fool's Day.
Yeah, that's right.
So we went back April 2nd. We didn't want to do April Fool's Day. And they said that there was no longer a heartbeat. And my baby, I was 22 weeks. My baby was only measuring 17 weeks.
Yeah.
So then they told me that I had to decide when I wanted to come in to be induced and have the baby. So I went in the 3rd, the day after, and I went to Lexington Medical where I was induced, and I had Leilani at 7:42 on April the 4th. She was born. And yeah, so
I remember that because I had just left the hospital for
he
something.
didn't get to see her come out.
Let's see. I left the hospital for some. I know I had to come home for something.
You had to put my money in the bank. You had to come home, change, shower, go back to the grab the money that I was supposed to put in the bank in my bank account, and then go back to the hospital. And then he had just made it home when I kept telling the doctor. Before he even left the hospital, I said, I feel like she's coming. And she was like, no, you still got a long ways.
And she's so dramatic, it's kind of hard to gauge, like, when something...
I was serious.
Yeah.
I was in pain. So I told her, because she told me what I would feel prior to the baby coming on one of them. Probably TMI.
Yeah, save that.
No, she said it would feel like you would have to go number 2.
Yeah.
And I was like, I gotta go. But she said, no, she's not coming yet. It was so funny because that was...
You just knew.
I knew, but it was just that pain. Whew. I told the nurse she was trying to kill me.
Imagine when you had to go the whole way.
Yeah. But like I was telling him, I feel like had I been going through that pain, knowing I was about to have a happy, healthy baby girl, it would have all been worth it.
Yeah.
So I was in pain to not have that reward at the end. So it was like double the hurt, pretty much. And then I was in the same hall as all the other women that were having babies, which I think that's something that they should change. That's kind of stupid, but you could hear all the babies being born and stuff, and the moms rolling around in their wheelchair holding their baby, and I was just sitting there waiting on mine.
Yeah.
So it sucked.
In the dark.
Pretty much.
That was a dark day. I really don't care to relive it.
Me either.
But that was a different one.
Yep.
I think when I left, that was like of course I gotta be there with her, but in the same sense, I was like, man, I kind of need to just be by myself.
Yeah.
Like, I need to leave. She's like, no, you need to stay.
I didn't say you need to stay.
Basically.
I wanted you to be there when she came.
You didn't want me to leave.
And the minute you made it home, she came.
Yeah. Well, just before I got home, I was almost home. I had literally just got off on the exit, and I got the call, and I looped it right back around.
No, because you went and got your patrol car.
No. Trust me, I remember.
So you had your patrol car?
I remember. Just leave it at that.
Oh.
I remember what happened.
My bad.
No, but I'm serious. Like, I remember when it was.
My mom called.
Yeah, because your mom asked. Because imagine if I would have made it all the way home, which I don't think. Well, now that you say that, heck, I may have made it home.
You made it home because you brought the clothes.
I think you're right. Yeah, I think you're right.
You literally came home, grabbed what you needed, and ran back out.
Yeah, I think you're right. Or this is what happened. So she initially called me and she asked where I was, but she never told me that you had already delivered. She was just asking like an update as far as my location. So that's why I'm getting mixed up, where I'm thinking, okay, as soon as I get off the exit, that's when the call. But that was the first time. She had called me twice.
So the first time she called you and she asked where you were, because she was right there. I told her I didn't want him to leave. I was like, I don't want him to go right now because I feel like she's coming. Yeah. And the nurse was like, no, you got time. He's got time. So I was like, okay, whatever then. If you're claiming
she don't
he's
realize
got time, then
like
y'all need to go ahead and bring this
counties
other girl.
away.
Yeah. So then after that, I started telling her she's coming, and she's like, no, she's not. And I was like, yes, she is. And then bloop, she came out. Yeah. And then mommy called you, and then that's when you came back. Yep.
So if you're wondering where we've been, that kind of
going through it.
That has a lot to do with a lot of it, and then there's another part that you guys are going to see pretty soon that you know, kind of play the role as far as where we had to prioritize things. So we got some new equipment. We're back. We're ready to rock and roll, and kind of put this out there because, you know, the strange thing about this is you don't really realize how prevalent this is until you've kind of gone through it. So, 'cause it's not something that, you know, you wake up and say, okay, I want to watch stories or watch a documentary about this. You don't. That's like a nightmare for most people, so they're not really looking at it. So they don't really realize how often it happens. And ever since you've had your situation, like every month, somebody's posting something, and usually we know them. Every single month.
Because a lot of my friends, some who I never even knew went through it, messaged me after it happened and then shared, I guess, their like their experience and how they got through it, or you know, kind of got back to their norm after such a heartbreaking type of situation. So I never knew some of those friends had even gone through something like that. So when I went through it and everybody started messaging me, it kind of opened my eyes to see how common it actually is, and nobody really talks about it. And another thing, nobody really talks about like what the men experience or how the men grieve it, I guess, if that makes sense, because of course, obviously, I'm carrying the baby, so a lot of people.
I guess we could talk about that. We'll do another one on that. What the topic you're about to get into?
Like how people don't think to check on the men.
Yeah, and then like the space, and I'll speak from my experience, and we'll do it on another one, because this one's already like 15 minutes.
You think?
Yeah, I know.
I watched
what time we did it.
Okay, well, you gotta say bye to the folks.
I ain't saying bye.
Slide out.
All right, thank you guys for watching.
Anyways, thank you. You probably out of the clip by now.
I'm definitely not.
Thank you for watching. We'll come back and finish the other half of the video and explain, I guess, how the men have to grieve differently than the women. But yeah, thank you for watching. We're back. We'll be doing more videos. And
can't tell you how many, because it all depends on my schedule. But we're going to try to crank them out.
Thank y'all.
Still recording?
Yeah.
Good.